Welcome to Maine, where clean water, farm-fresh ingredients, and the creativity of rugged souls combine to create beers known around the world. More than 100 breweries have opened in Maine in just the past 5 years, and so the opportunity for you to create a tailored adventure filled with great beer is around every corner. Hi, I'm Sean Sullivan, Executive Director of the Maine Brewers Guild. Wherever you find yourself and whatever your beer of choice, I hope you'll tune in each week to learn and explore Maine's beer and beverage scene. Cheers from Maine.
We played a gig up in Fort Kent a couple years ago. After the show, we were at this bar called BJ's, and we were partying with some locals. A gentleman started instructing us in the ways of Acadian culture, which is very strong up in that part of the state. And he said the only Acadian phrase you need to know is "Vive l'Acadie," and the whole bar chimed in "Vive l'Acadie," and that led to the song called Vive l'Acadie, which is on that record, and then we ended up having that be the title track, just kind of as a symbolic way to kind of celebrate the multicultural aspect of Maine.
Being in the entertainment slash bar slash nightlife industry, there's a James McMurtry quote that says, "We're just glorified beer salesmen," and that's a very true statement.
We're the Mallard Brothers Band. Cheers from Maine.
Woo! We were the first brew pub in the state of Maine in 1988. Nobody knew what a brew pub was. Nobody knew anything about craft beer. There were so many young, happy people here just wanting to have a good time, and it all came together nicely. I'm really proud of the people in the industry. You know, they're building marketing machines and they're building creative beers, and everybody's focused on quality. People come to Maine just for beer. I'm very happy in it. Been doing it for a long time. I plan on doing it for a lot longer. Not a bad way to make a living. Hi everyone, I'm Richard Pfeffer, founder of Gritty McDuff's. Thanks for watching Cheers from Maine. Cheers from Gritty's.
I'm Don Littlefield, General Manager of the Maine Brew Bus. When we started the Maine Brew Bus in 2012, there were 37 breweries in the entire state. Now we have over 150 breweries and a few dozen wineries and distilleries that have started up in that same time period. It's been an amazing growth to this industry. Hey everyone, come along with us on the first season of Cheers from Maine. Together we will learn about the people and the places that are making this industry thrive.
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda O'Brien. I'm the owner of 1820 Wines. We are based in Portland, Maine, where we are making wine out of rhubarb that is grown locally. We have a tasting room on Anderson Street where there are also some other breweries and fermenters, so it's a fun little neighborhood to be in. As a business owner and getting up and running and keeping it running, I know it takes a lot. It takes a lot of local resources and networks, and I want people to get to know those people too. I want them to know the brewers, the fermenters, the winemakers, the distillers, the farmers, the brewmasters, and all the people behind the scenes making it happen. Hey everyone, thanks for hanging out. I look forward to going around the state with you so that we can learn more about these thriving industries together.
We got started sipping on whiskey. We were curious why there weren't more craft distilleries, so we started exploring.
We are Maine's first and only certified organic craft distillery. Yeah, so Split Rock Road is on your way down to Pimlico Point Lighthouse.
It's actually the shortest way between our two homes, and we've said it's the only shortcut we'll take. For us, it was always about trying to create the absolute best product we could, and organic was a big part of that.
Snake Root Farms in Pittsfield, Maine. Tom there grows all of our beautiful horseradish that we use in our horseradish vodka.
Elderflower Farm is the purveyor of blueberries for us. They're the only organic wild blueberry operation in a close proximity to our distillery, and Briar and John have been awesome supporters from day one. Mafka as a whole has put a lot of these wonderful relationships in place for us. We've worked hand in hand to find farms that are close to us, farms that embrace the same values, and farms that can grow and scale with our company. The community is what has made this possible. We have a wall where we have put the names of what started as friends and family, but turned into people we didn't know but cared about and invested in what we were doing. We have forced sampling In the summer, 7 days a week. In the winter, 6 days a week. 4 vodkas, 2 gins, and now 4 whiskeys, including 3 varieties of our bourbon. We have a simple syrup brand as well, Royal Rose, that is also organically certified and made from scratch.
So we get all of our grain from Champlain Valley Milling in upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah, all of it is milled to our flour specs that we're looking for. We lift those 50-pound bags of grain up into the mash tun, and that fermentation process takes approximately 5 to 6 days. We'll pump over 1/2 of the volume of one of the mash tuns into the still itself, and we will perform what we refer to as a stripping run. So what we're attempting to do is to remove all the alcohol from the mash slurry. So for our bourbon, for example, we're running it through the 4-window whiskey column. When it comes to vodka, we also use the 4-window whiskey column along with our 16-window, 20-foot tall vodka tower. What we're ultimately looking to do is to drive the lighter and lighter ethanol molecules further and further up. So more or less, we're refining that alcohol each time it goes up.
Getting better and better all the way.
Exactly.
All of the distilled spirits, no matter what you see in the finished bottle, they all start off clear, is that correct?
They do.
Okay. And what gives each spirit its individual color?
Yep, so for bourbon, for example, it's the beautiful char in the inside of the barrel. So all of our barrels are a char number 3. And so it's the time, the barometric pressure, and all the exposure to that charred wood inside there is what brings that beautiful amber color onto the bourbon itself. For our blueberries, for example, it is 180 plus pounds of organic Maine blueberries. They get dumped into a vat of finished vodka, mashed and strained and filtered, is what brings that beautiful color out.
No wonder it's so vibrant.
Exactly. Hand bottle, we hand cap, we hand shrink wrap, we hand label. Everything occurs right here with our team.
That's the main way, do it by hand.
Exactly, and again, that way we are hands-on with every single bottle that moves through our facility here.
So tell me what you're gonna make.
We are gonna do our 3 chili old fashioned. I'm gonna showcase our straight bourbon, our 3 chili syrup, and some bitters from Venus Fizz House. First, I'm gonna add a little bit of ice to my glass. Next up, bourbon. Go with a nice healthy 2 ounces. After my bourbon, I'm gonna add a little bit of our 3 chili syrup here. This is poblano, ancho, and a little bit of jalapeno pepper. I'm gonna go with 1/2 ounce. Go with a healthy 3 dashes here. Give our ingredients a little stir. Express a little orange twist and drop that in there for a garnish. And there you have it. A very simple old fashioned anyone can make with 3 ingredients.
Great. So Matt, I'm driving and I'm really excited to try a mocktail. What are you gonna make for us today?
Well, we're actually gonna do the Maine Blueberry Spritzer. So one of the beautiful things is with Royal Rose organic syrups that we make right here in-house is that it's a fantastic non-alcoholic alternative. We're starting with about a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. The citrus note with the blueberry really adds a beautiful context to it. Blueberry simple syrup, and I'm doing about 1 ounce. Poland Springs soda water, and a dash of mint, and there is a beautiful, refreshing mocktail.
Indeed it is. That's outstanding.
Cheers. Cheers.
There's certainly the mentality amongst us that if we work cohesively and we continue to support one another, people will start asking for Maine spirits, and outside of Maine, we'll start to build a brand just like beer has. It's the theory of a rising tide lifts all boats.
We'd love to have you come visit us at 16 Osprey Point Road in Newcastle and come try our wonderful organic spirits.
Topher, thanks for bringing us down here. I do have a quick question for you. You mentioned MOFGA a couple of times. What does that stand for?
Maine Organic Farmers and Gardeners Association. They're the oldest certifying organization in the U.S. and they bridge farms, producers together and make awesome organic products.
Wow.
Like the one that comes out of this brewery we're at. Kyle and Angie. It's my good friend Don.
Hi.
Don, Kyle, and Angie.
Hi, Kyle. I'm Don.
Hi, Don.
Hi. Thanks
Nice to
for
meet you.
allowing us to come visit you today.
Absolutely. We're on Westport Island. We're in Midcoast, Maine, about an hour north of Portland, and we're on the end of the island, so we're about 8 miles down, right on the Sasanoa River. So that's why we named our brewery Sasanoa Brewing. Tarbox Farm has been in the Tarbox family for about 200 years. We are now a 9-acre MOFGA certified organic farm, and we grow a wide variety of produce, flowers, culinary herbs. We have a wild cranberry bog. We also have wild blueberries on the property as well.
We believe that organic practices are the right way to go, and we like to produce a healthy, natural, nutritious products. I first started brewing beer at the Times Square Brewery in New York City. I was 19 years old. I've always done a lot of home brewing on the side and used a lot of farm ingredients, different herbs and fruit that we've grown. I felt like the brewery and the farm would complement each other very nicely. We're mostly using adjuncts like herbs, ginger, fruit, different wild forage stuff, cranberries. So it's great. It's just another product that we're sharing with the public and we can feel proud of. For me, brewing beer is always magic. I think when you put the yeast in there, and even though you know what's going to happen, there's always a sense of wonder and excitement when you put together a new recipe, when you're using a new ingredient and have it come to fruition. It's great.
We are planning on opening up a tasting room, and I'm really excited about that aspect of really incorporating people coming, having a beer, and then walking around the farm. And I think it'll be a really amazing experience for especially people who are coming from the city who've never really been on a farm before.
So we are the first MOFGA certified organic brewery in the state. We are probably one of 1 or 2 dozen organic certified breweries in the country, and we're proud of that. So these are a couple beers we have out right now. This one's called Biscuit. It uses biscuit malt, and we get this malt from Valley Malt, which is down in Mass. Farmhouse Ale, it's called Back River, named after one of the rivers that flows around the island.
Mm-hmm. Got some hints of clove.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Nice
golden
and clear.
color.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. This is our lime basil.
Lime basil?
Yep, we've been growing lime basil on the farm for quite some time. And this is our Petite Saison, picture of our barn and tractor.
Tiny farm.
Tiny farm.
Petite.
Yep. So this is our lightest alcohol beer. It's 4.5%. Dry hop with Cascade, roasted hops, all main ingredients as well.
Cheers from Sasanoa Brewing.
And cheers from Maine.
That's a good question. Off the cuff, I would go with my grandfather. No longer with us, but I know he enjoyed whiskey and I'd love to catch up with him.
If I could have a drink with someone, especially my bourbon, I'd have to say I would also want to include my grandfathers, both of which I never met, passed away before I was born. And it'd be something I'd be very proud to share.
I'm originally from Durham, Maine. I left to live in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii for 6 years. I came back in 2007 and I now live in Durham, Maine. Almost all my family lives there, and it's nice and quiet. It's right in the middle of a lot of towns that you want to be in here in Maine. I really love WEX because working around a lot of high-performing people, it makes you work harder and strive to be better at your job every day. I feel like Maine is whatever you want it to be. You can live in the city, you can live in the woods, you can live in a place where you don't have to see anybody for weeks at a time, or you can see someone every day. Living in the city, living in a condo. I would say there's a lot to do in Maine. It's hard to figure out where you want to go to eat on the weekends, what you want to do, if you want to visit the ocean or climb a mountain. I love Maine for that reason, because there's so much to do here. I like to go camping, I like to hang out in the city sometimes. And often I like to be kind of set back in the country a little bit. But I also like to travel, and it's really easy just to go on a quick weekend trip. I always knew I wanted to come back to Maine. I love Maine. There's nothing else like it.
One One of the reasons why you'd use the Bolus Company is that we offer both a statewide presence here in Maine and also in New Hampshire. We actually have been helping breweries all the way as far as up as in Bangor, in Waterville, Midcoast, Lewiston, Auburn. Nothing is more rewarding than going to one of these industrial parks on a Saturday and seeing your client's business just blowing up and everybody out there having fun.
Cheers from Bolus.
Hi everyone, welcome to Print Salon in Falmouth.
Hello, my name is Dan Kleban, and I am the founder of Maine Beer Company here in Freeport, Maine. And right now we are in our new tasting room. Today we take it for granted. Tasting rooms are like the thing to do, but that wasn't the case, 6-7 years ago. So we designed our original tasting room just guessing at how many people would come up to Freeport. But we were pleasantly surprised to learn that people love tasting rooms. They love coming to breweries and tasting the beer and hanging out with friends and family. So we invested in this new tasting room, tried to make it really inviting for people to come here and really make it a really memorable experience for folks. My brother and I started Maine Beer Company 10 years ago, and it was not just to make good beer, but it was to show that small businesses can have a big impact on the lives of their employees, their communities, and the planet. So from day one, we've always treated our employees and given them great benefits and a great salary. But one of the key things we did before we even had any employees was join an organization called 1% for the Planet. And being part of that meant that we had to pledge to donate 1% of our top line revenue to environmentally focused nonprofits. And so we've done that since day one. Before we were even paying ourselves, we were donating. And the idea is that if every small business just does a little bit, no matter how big you are, it all matters. And if everybody just donates a little bit, we can really have a big impact on a lot of the environmental issues that we're facing. Our beers, we tend to focus on kind of just clean, crisp, hoppy style American ales. But one of the cool things that this new tasting room, this new facility is allowing us to do is really do a lot more experimentation and have a lot more kind of innovation. So we have a new series of beers, our Black Barn series, which are brewery only beers, so people have to come here to get them. But it's really allowing us to kind of spread our wings a little bit and experiment with new styles. So that's something I know I'm really excited about. I know all of the production crew and all of the staff here are really excited about. And customers that come here are going to be able to taste things from us that they haven't been able to taste before. I can't imagine raising a family anywhere else than Maine. My house is 5 minutes from the ocean, 5 minutes from LL Bean, 5 minutes from work. I can be up in the mountains in an hour and a half and go skiing, and I can be down to Portland in 20 minutes. People think of Freeport as kind of remote and far away, but it really has a ton to offer.
We specialize in commercial real estate, so we work with tenants, landlords, and buyers and sellers of commercial property. There's been a lot of expansion of breweries and distilleries in Maine, and there's some concern that there may be too many, but in talking with a lot of the breweries that are in great locations with a lot of walking traffic and a lot of tourism through Maine Brew Bus, a lot of those breweries that are in highly concentrated areas with others seem to be doing very well. Of course, you have to have a good product, and if you have good product, you're going to survive and thrive. The favorite part of my job is helping entrepreneurs and business owners create and bring to fruition the vision that they have. So, for instance, here at Good Fire Brewery, this is owned and operated by a good friend of mine who had been brewing beer in his basement for quite a few years, and his product was terrific. And he got the confidence to go and get a loan, raise some money, and create a brewery. And seeing what he and other entrepreneurs have been able to do with those visions has just been fantastic and a real inspiration.
Hi, I'm John Emerson. I own Bessie Motor Sales, and I moved back to Maine in 2012. Bessie's been in business for about 60 years. And the goal is just to make it, the hub for Western Maine. Yeah, it's pretty much family and Bessie at this point. 2 little girls, Hallie and Lily, and my wife. The one day a week I get off, it's spent with them, just enjoying, something around Maine. We couldn't be happier.
I think when we started talking about coming up here was when John was really considering going back to the dealership. His grandfather was in the business, his dad was in the business, so I think it was really important for him to carry on that family tradition. He works hard, he loves what he does, and it really shows with his customers and how well his business is doing.
That's the only way a business lasts, right? You take care of the people who buy and service their vehicles with us, and we take care of the community. It goes hand in hand. Hi, I'm John Emerson, owner of Bessie Motors, and we hope to see you this winter.
So welcome to Woodhull in Yarmouth, Maine. We're here 5 nights a week, and we have some of the absolute best margaritas around. We pride ourselves on our tacos, and absolutely on Thursday nights our live music selection is fantastic. So Woodhull comes from the town I'm from, Woodhull, New York. It's a small town, upstate New York. And basically it was the idea of we're in Yarmouth, and we love the idea of a small town sort of feel where people come together, they kind of forget about their day, they come together as a community. And so Woodhull made sense to me as a place I grew up, and everyone had each other's backs. We have a bumper pool and shuffleboard, and we have live music, and we have darts, nice patio outside when spring finally arrives, and it's a really good place to be. First time people, I would recommend some of the crowd favorites from the very beginning. We have our corn fritters, which are basically a deconstruction of Mexican street corn. Our tacos have been, since the very beginning, top-notch. People come in for our tacos specifically. It's an easy entry into eating here, and then having a margarita with it, can't go wrong.
So what do we have here?
This is a sampling of probably our top crowd favorites. And one thing I'd like to point out though is our entire menu, though unintentional from the very beginning, it's a completely gluten-free food menu. The entire thing.
Really?
We started off, we realized it was 90% gluten-free. We figured we changed a few ingredients. The entire thing's been gluten-free since about a month in after we opened.
So we got a little steak,
we got a carne asada taco. Our Baja fish taco is absolutely a crowd favorite. Our Korean fried chicken appetizer. Our corn fritters have been on the menu since we first opened. And the Pak Mo, which is a newer addition about 6 months ago. And these 3 are on happy hour menu as well.
You got a happy hour. I love happy hour.
4 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday. So.
And don't forget about this little guy over there.
This is one of our new margaritas on our margarita menu. Is the Razzarita. Raspberry margarita,
I like it.
And then our house margarita over here.
And tell me why this is the best margarita?
Well, we really pride ourselves on our margaritas. We fresh make our sour mix. It's fresh squeezed citrus, a little bit of sweetness to it, and some tequila. That's about it. Really simple and delicious. So yeah.
So your menu says good vibes, good food, fun times, right?
Yep. Good vibes, great food, whatever it says on there. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
And,
that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah. That's what people generally come in expecting just a normal experience, and when they leave, they realize they need to come back as soon as possible. So.
Well, I will come back, my friend.
We're looking forward to it.
And before I toast, last plug for the music, because you were telling me that artists are really coming from all over.
Yeah, we like to pitch it as our listening room, because people really come here to sit down, pay attention to the musicians who come through out of Nashville, Chicago.
Really?
Next week we have a fantastic musician coming out from Seattle. He's flying in to play here. So
in Yarmouth, Maine.
Yeah, unbelievable. But when you come and check out the music Thursday night, almost every single Thursday, 7 to 9, way before bedtime, good to go. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching our travels this week.
And tuning in to check out the craft industry. Beer, wine, and spirits are making up a larger and larger part of our economy. We thank you for your help.
Yeah, and to check out all the shows, please visit mainlifemedia.com and Maine Life Media on Facebook. See you next week, everybody.
Topher Mallory, one of the founders here.
I'm Matt Page. Welcome to, let's see, I already went ahead and screwed it all up.
Gotta get those out of your system. What is it?
Mainlifemedia.com.
You don't have to know that.
I know, I'm just helping him.
Oh, I get it.
He's my friend.
Okay. Oh, that's smart. You know his strengths and weaknesses, right?
Right now.